right, pre-calc, let's go over the homework. I didn't tell you which numbers to do. Let's let's do this and we'll kind of figure out which numbers are really the key ones here. So we got let f of x equal this equation, and g of x equals this. Find f of x minus, oh my god, this is a gimme question. You are literally taking this x squared plus 3x minus 1, and next to it you are writing minus this 10 minus 2x. Now here's the key part. That minus is going for the whole function, so we should toss that on. Now, I would want you to simplify this. Simplifying it means that we kind of distribute that negative. This becomes the opposite, and this turns to positive. And the next thing we should do is then combine like terms. Well, there's only one x squared. When we do this, the parentheses go away. We can combine the 3x with the 2x to make 5x. And we can combine the negative 1 with the negative 10 to get a negative 11. And there we go. That's our new function. We move on down to this one. So find f of x times g of x. Ooh, all right. So that's all right. And then it says find h of 4. Okay. So it doesn't tell us to necessarily do this, but what we are going to do is take and put a 4 here. We're going to put a 4 here. Do the math, the order of the operations for f of x and g of x, and then multiply our two answers together. So what happens here? So, all right, 20 minus 4. We got to subtract before we can find the root. 20 minus 4 is 16. The root of 16 is 4, okay. 10 times 4 is 40. 40 minus 4 is 36. The root of 36 is 6. And we multiply them together, and we get a final value of 24 is equal to h of 4. Role model answer is going to take that function notation and say what it's equal to, so I'm going to leave it like that. Paul and Polly sell lemonade in front of their houses in the summer. During the month of June, they sold 26 cups of lemonade a day at a price of 50 cents a cup. In July, they plan to increase their cups sold by 2 cups every day with some clever new advertising. Yay. They will also decrease the price per cup by 1 cent every day. Oh boy, so they're just like changing things. Write an equation for a function L of D that gives the amount of money that they would make selling lemonade on any given day in July. Well, okay, let's just think through this here. So, all right, so we got L of D, all right, and we're gonna have kind of like two parts that are working here. In order to get their revenue, how much they're making, we're gonna have to take, well, what's their price here that they're selling them for each day, and how many times the number of cups. All right, so we already know that they're selling 26 cups a day, 50 cents a piece. So we have a starting price of 50 cents, so 50 cents, 0.50. But every day we're taking away from that a penny. This is kind of stupid, but that's what it is. Let's go with it. We've got that. We're going to be taking that whole thing and multiplying it. That's the price on any given day, 1 cent per day. So if it's the 10th day, you're going to do 10 times a penny and take away 10 cents from this, you get 40 cents. And then you'd also multiply by the fact that you have 26 cups that you're starting with, and you're adding 2 cups every day. And there we go. There's our function for this, where we're multiplying those two things together. That'll give us how much they make in any given day. All right, so the graph of the function g is shown here on the interval from -7 to +7. Okay, so it says the table of selected values is given for function h, a whole new one. Selected values means that it could have more values than that. Let's go with this. It has only one real zero. So, okay, they are telling us that it's only got one real zero. Excuse me. Okay, let f of x equal, ooh, what the heck is this? So this is saying take -2 and multiply by the value of g of x, take 3 and multiply by the value of h of x, and then add those answers together, whatever you get from this. So let's take this, find f of 4. So we're going to go with 4. We're going to find that in this function. So 4, the output is 13. So this, when we're putting in 4 for the h function, we get 13, but we have to take that answer and multiply by 3. Okay, yeah, so what's that? That's 39. So we get 39. And then with the other function, we also put in 4 into this function. So we go over to the x value 4, we get a value of -3. So when we put in 4, we get -3, but we have to multiply that by a -2, and that gives us a +6. And we're right there. Let's see. I feel like I did something wrong. Yeah. I feel like I did something wrong. All right. I mean, this is going over homework, so whatever. I'm looking that I would end up getting f of 4 is equal to 45. Answer key says -33. My brain ain't seeing it. I'm gonna go with this. If you got this, feel free to show me how you got it. So maybe there's a typo in the answer key, or maybe my brain just ain't getting there. That's what happens when we do these live videos. Remember, I'm solving it without. I do have the answer key, but I'm solving it live. All right. So let j of x be the product of these two functions. How many x-intercepts does j have on the interval from here to here? So let's see. So this new function, j of x, means that we are taking, now what are x-intercepts going to be? X-intercepts are going to be parts on when we get a y value, y is equal to 0. Okay, so how does that happen when we're multiplying two functions together? Well, either one of them is 0 or the other one is 0. So, yeah, but we're only going from inputs from -7 to +7. So this is saying, it didn't even say, like, what are they? It says how many are there. All right, so let's think here. We get a result of 0 in the h function once right here. Okay, so that means that when we put in a 2 here, we get 0, and when we put in a 2 here, we get -1. And the rule says to multiply those answers together. The answer will be -1 times 0, which is 0. That's one of them. So when yeah, I guess it's like when x is equal to 2, that's going to be one of the zeros that we get. So on the number line, this would be one of the places. Now, we don't get any other zeros from here, but over here, we also, when we're putting in different values, we have a 0 here and here that we get as a value, and here. So we'll have 1, 2, 3 other ones. So there's going to be a total of 4 of them. 4 zeros is the answer, but let's also find them. So at 1, if we put in 1, we'll get 0, and 0 times whatever answer we get over here. Remember, these are only selected values, so it's not all the values. We would get 0 at -1 and at -5. So yeah, role model answer. This was the answer, but role model answer is also the list them. Okay, now we're taking the functions and we are dividing them. Which values are restricted from the domain? These values. No, not, well, let's double check it. That's like the gut instinct, but really it's when h of x is 0. We can't have that happen. So that's really this one. We can't have our x value be equal to 2, because then the h function would be equal to 0, and we can't divide by 0. Yeah, so it just, yeah, that's the answer. That's the value that it can't be. We move on. Number 5, Kara enlisted her friend Franny to help shovel all the driveways in her grandma's condominium community. It takes Kara 40 minutes to shovel a driveway, and it takes Franny 45 minutes to shovel a driveway. Great, love these. Write an equation or a function that gives the number of driveways that Kara and Franny can shovel while working together for X hours. Okay, this is a combination problem. So we're looking, they say d of x, so any number of hours. So they work 1 hour, 2 hours. All right, so here, it's like when we're looking at this, we've kind of got some numbers, some ratios here. All right, 40 minutes. So what, that's 40 minutes in an hour, and 45 minutes in an hour. There's some thinking with this. I'll be honest, I gotta go home. So I'm gonna give you the answer. It's 3/2 x plus 4/3 x. There's some simplifying for this one. All right, test or quiz time. Don't worry, we'll be good. We'll be good. Yeah, I'm gonna refer the rest of these that if you're doing them, honestly, I do like 6 and 7. You know, so when it really the homework problems, some of the ones that I definitely would want you to know how to do would be 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Oh, 6, 7. There you go. That's what we'll call the homework. Take care, folks. Bye.